Hi, and welcome to episode 45, I think, of Tales of Yarnia. My name is Hannah. I'm coming to you from Cheltenham in the UK, which is where I live with my other half, Jimmy, and our yellow Labrador, Jonah. So, social media-wise, you can find me as Yarnia Designs on Instagram and Ravelry. You can also find my knitting patterns, which are available to buy on Ravelry as well. Whilst I'm talking about those, I am currently having a little sale, 50% off all of my patterns with the code GOODVIBES, and I'll write that on the screen as well. And that will be, it's for my birthday, so I was planning on doing a sale anyway, but I'm having a bit of a bigger discount than I was planning just because of the situation that's going on at the moment. And I know lots of people will be wanting new projects to start to keep them busy, and so I'm having 50% off. So yeah, if you've been looking to purchase any of my patterns, now would be a good time to do that. So make sure you use the discount code. So yeah, it is my 30th birthday in a couple of days, and that's on Tuesday, which is the 24th of March. So the code will be valid until the end of that day in British time, which I think we're on GMT at the moment. Yeah, I think the clocks change the following weekend. So yeah, at the moment we're on GMT. So focus. It's been a bit of a funny old time at the moment, hasn't it? I just wanted to do a podcast because I feel like carrying on and trying to do as much as we can to keep some sense of normal life is probably a good thing to do at this time. And I know a lot of people are self-isolating at home and probably need extra things to watch. So if you're running out of things on Netflix, my podcast is there. So yeah, I just thought I'll put out a video. I've got quite a few things to show and talk about. I've missed talking to you guys the last few weeks, and yeah. So I don't know whether to cover life stuff at the beginning or the end. Don't really know. I should have thought about this before I started recording, shouldn't I? Well, I've already mentioned my birthday, so I'll just quickly talk about that. So yes, it's my 30th in a couple of days. The time of me filming is Sunday, and it's my birthday on Tuesday, I think. And we were meant to be going away to York, just a trip for like 4 nights, just to go away and celebrate, and just me and Jimmy on our own. And then on the way back, we were going to go and visit my family who live near to Manchester. So we were going to sort of do a bit of a triangle journey around the country. But with everything that's going on, that we've cancelled the trip because it's just not a good idea. We're trying to limit social contact as much as possible in this country at the moment. And so yeah, it just seemed like the sensible thing to do is just to cancel or postpone. We'll go at some point in the future, hopefully. Just don't know when that'll be yet. So yeah, it's going to be a weird way to celebrate my birthday by just not really doing much. However, Animal Crossing came out on Friday, and I asked for that for my birthday. So I think, hopefully, Jimmy will have got Animal Crossing for me. So I will probably spend the day drinking champagne, playing Animal Crossing, doing some knitting. We'll probably try and get a takeaway. So yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be a bit of a weird one. I did say to a couple of friends that I'm planning on staying 29 until I'm able to celebrate properly and go on holiday. But I'm not sure it quite works like that. So yes, so it's my birthday. I'm having a sale. I'm sure there was another thing. Yeah, I hope that all of you watching, just all of you are well and staying safe, trying to stay at home as much as possible, apart from getting the essentials that you need to survive. Jimmy is now working from home, which he did do some of the time anyway, but now he is like completely working from home. I can't work from home, so I still have to go to work. I don't think I've mentioned this before, but I work for the emergency services, and I'm based in the control room behind the scenes, so I'm not out and about with the public, but it's not a job that you can do from home. So I'm still going into work, and it is really challenging at the moment, partly because the number of staff that we have are quite depleted, because some people are having to self-isolate because either they have shown symptoms or their families have shown symptoms. So our workforce is depleted, the world outside is going crazy, and yeah, so it's a challenging time for everyone. But I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who is either in the NHS, just everyone who is working towards trying to help this situation. Just everyone is pitching in, everyone is trying to make the best of what we find ourselves in, and we need to just focus on the positive, focus on what we can do. So for most people, that is just staying inside, maybe contacting elderly or vulnerable neighbours. Just make sure that you're looking after yourselves and the people around you who might need help. So yeah, yeah, funny old time, but I am going to get onto the knitting content now, because I know a lot of people, we need a bit of a distraction. We need to focus on the positive things and the things which we previously have enjoyed and are still able to enjoy. So yeah, I am going to talk about a couple of patterns. So I hope I haven't depressed everyone too much, but I just wanted to sort of talk about that because I might forget what I was planning to say, and yeah, it's just the way it is. Oh, there was one more thing I forgot, sorry. Before I show the patterns, this weekend there is a online yarn festival running. It's the Yorkshire Yarn Fest. The physical event was cancelled. However, the amazing organisers they arranged for all of the vendors to showcase their wares on an Instagram live slot. I think that was yesterday. They did that on Saturday. But most of the vendors have either got a free shipping code or a discount on the things that they've got in their shop. So make sure you go check that out. Try and support independent businesses and makers, and also local businesses to you, like pubs and restaurants who are now offering takeaway meal services or delivery services, because this is a really, really tough time for them. Here in the UK, they've now ordered bars, pubs, restaurants, theatres, gyms. They've all been ordered to shut for the foreseeable future, and it's really hitting local businesses hard. So a lot of them are now offering to deliver, or the option for you to take away food. from them. So if you can afford to do that, and you want to support your local businesses, I'm sure they would really, really appreciate that. And the same goes for online businesses, because I know a lot of people are struggling financially in this situation, and those who are able to, please do try and support people who rely on their income from their independent small businesses. They rely on that to feed their families and survive this situation. So please do try and support them if you can. I made a cheeky purchase yesterday from Ishrat of Fruitful Fusion, and I'm really looking forward to that arriving. But I wish I could support every single person who's vending, but I feel like by letting you guys know about it, I'm sort of helping to spread the word. I know they are getting loads of support. There are a lot of people shopping. There were some bits and pieces I've been looking forward to getting and I missed out on, like particular stitch markers and things like that from some of the vendors. So it seems like they're doing really well. It's really good, and it's really positive that they've been able to have their online festival instead. And actually, I wouldn't have been able to attend the physical festival, so I'm really pleased that I did get to join in and support them. So hopefully this will hopefully be a positive weekend for them, despite the situation we find ourselves in. Okay, so enough of that. I will move on to what I was planning to show you. I've got quite a lot of new things to show you. So I'm going to start off with the pattern information. We have got a pattern release since I last spoke to you, I believe, and they are the Drip Drip Drop socks. So I have shown you these before, but they are now available on Ravelry, and they are 50% off at the moment if you use that code Good Vibes, along with the rest of my self-published patterns on Ravelry. Aren't they so cute? These little bunny. So yeah, it's like an all-over texture pattern with these they're sort of nups. They're like mini bobbles, and they're really, really fun to knit and satisfying to work up. And you've got a little lace panel which runs down the side of each side of the sock. They are knit cuff down, and you use a little contrast colour at the top, and then it fades in to the main colour. So I have talked more about these on previous episodes, so make sure you go and check those out if you want to find out a bit more, or go and check out the pattern page because that is now available. So yeah, links to everything that I show you and talk about will be available. I will include those just in the description box down below. And if there's anything which I've forgotten to include a link to, or forgotten to say who the maker is, just comment on the video and I will try my best to respond. So yeah, those are the Drip Drip Drop socks, and really pleased with them. So yeah, that's the first pattern that I wanted to talk about. The second pattern isn't quite released yet, but I'm hoping to release it this week at some point, over the next week. And it is the Fairy Wisp shawl. I have shown this before. I have now blocked it. So this is the first time you're seeing it after it's been blocked with the lace. And it's absolutely huge. I'll just move this chair. It is massive. So it uses 2 different colours of fingering weight yarn, so 2 100-gram skeins, and it also uses some lace weight mohair, just 1 skein of that. They normally come in 50-gram skeins. You won't need the whole skein. I've forgotten the exact amount that it uses, but it will be on the pattern page. It's less than 50 grams. So it will use a partial skein. Just because you get so many yards with the lace weight. And this shawl was big enough. So I will just put it on and show you how huge it is. But it's super warm. Even though the mohair is lace weight and you knit that bit, those sections, just holding the mohair on its own, it is still huge. And it's still so warm. So I'm probably going to be wearing it, wrapping it around twice. But you can easily just wear it as a wrap as well. Yeah. Yeah, it's super, you can see I've got so much squish wrapped around my neck, keeping me warm. And it is just a huge shawl. And I'm really pleased with how this is, the lace has blocked out. Lovely. So, oh, I forgot to mention which yarns I've used for this. I have used, I'll show you on here, the, where is it? Yeah. 2 of the skeins are Mr. B's yarn and 1 is Lay Family yarn. So this one here, this variegated, it's sort of a neutral with speckles of purple and greens. That is Lay Family yarn, and that is the Quirrell colourway. And then the sort of tonal dusty pink is Mr. B's yarn in Duchess, and the mohair is Mr. B's yarn in, is it Fuzzy Mauve? Or is that something else? I think it's Fuzzy Mauve. I'm sorry if I've got that wrong. But yeah, so I am really pleased with how this has turned out. My testers are, some of them are finished now. I think about half of them have now finished, so hopefully over the next week they'll gradually finish them and I can release the pattern, but it is just huge. I didn't quite expect it to block out this big, but I'm quite a loose knitter, so not everyone's might turn out this big. It depends if you do a gauge swatch or not. But I do love a big shawl. So, yeah. Oh. So, oh yeah, so you start off, it's an asymmetrical shawl. You start off at this point up here. You do a mini lace section and then you work across doing just really, really simple, relaxing garter sections with a little eyelet row in the middle of each one. And then, so you do quite a bit of that, and then you move on to the final big lace section. I'm really pleased with it. So yeah, that is the Fairy Wisp shawl. And if you want to keep an eye out when that's going to be released, make sure you follow me over on Instagram, as that is where I will announce the release of the pattern. So, there we go. Right, so that was it for the pattern release information. Next up, I've got FOs, and I may as well just stay standing up because I'm about to show you what I'm wearing. So this is my latest finished object, and it's my own design. I haven't got a name for it yet, and I haven't written up the pattern. It's not in testing, so it's going to be a couple of months before it'll be released. However, I will just show you. So it's a fingering weight sweater, knit from the bottom up, and it features this little lace design up the front on each side, and that goes just along the whole length of the sweater up to the top. And then you've got some sort of moss stitch under there's some panels under the arms on each side. And then on the back, I really love the back, but I'm never going to see it. You've got this lace panel which is featured, that goes along the back, the whole length of the back. How well you'll be able to see, hopefully you can see that okay. So it's all quite botanical and leafy in the theme. I've done a drop shoulder because I just really enjoy the fit of that sleeve construction. And then I've sort of done, what do you call this, sort of bracelet length sleeves? Just because it's sort of intended to be a sweater, lightweight sweater for warmer weather, so like a spring, summer evening sort of thing. But you could also wear it in autumn and layer up if you wanted to as well. So hopefully it'll be quite a versatile sweater. And I am really pleased with how it's turned out. The yarn I used is Woolly Mammoth Fibre Co. And the base it's a BFL Gotland 4-ply, and it's just gorgeous. It's just beautiful. And Emma, the dyer behind Woolly Mammoth, she is so talented. So if you haven't checked out her yarns, you definitely should. And check out her podcast as well. She makes such beautiful projects, and she's got the cutest dog called Rufus. And he's just so funny. So yeah, I'm really pleased with it. I am going to hopefully write up the pattern. I'm aiming to do that this week, and but at least start writing it up, and then I've got to grade it to cover all sizes. But as with my previous or existing garment designs, I will aim for it to be as inclusive as possible and grade the pattern for 10 different sizes. I won't know until I grade it what the finished measurements of the largest size will be. However, I normally aim to include something which would fit a bust size of 65-70 inches, I think is what my previous patterns include. But I'll give you more information about that once I have graded it, and then if anyone thinks I need to do some extra sizes, then you can let me know, and I'm always happy to grade for different sizes. Okay, so I haven't figured out a name for it yet, but it's got to have sort of a botanical name, I think. We'll figure it out. And if I can't figure it out, I'll ask you guys to help me. Okay, so that's my first FO. My second FO, I don't think I've shown on the podcast as a finished object, but for some reason I forgot to write show notes for my previous episodes, so I have no idea what I've already shown you. So if you've already seen these finished, I do apologise, but I've got plenty more things to show you which I've definitely not shown you before. So these are my finished stripy socks, and they're just a plain vanilla pair of socks in a self-striping colourway by Twisted Limone. And I have worn them now, so I just completely forgot that I hadn't shown them on the podcast yet, and just started wearing them because I was so excited about them. So apologies about that. But yeah, this was a 12 stripe sequence yarn. And I think Twisted Limone, I think I got it when she put up some dyed to order slots. Possibly last year or the year before. So yeah. But yeah, I'm really pleased with them. It's just really fun to have a pair of vanilla socks on the go at all times, just so that you've got something you can pick up and put down or have as travel knitting. So yeah, I'm really pleased with these. And the heel that I did was the, what's it called? It's the New Depths heel by Becky Sorensen, who is Soprano Knits on Instagram and Ravelry, I think. So yeah, I'm really pleased with it. The colour I used for the heel was not part of the striping sequence. It is Leading Men Fibre Arts, and it is the upside down colourway, which is a Stranger Things reference. Yeah, really pleased with these. I'm really pleased with how they turned out, so yay. I'm not sure where the sock blockers were from, as they were a gift from my mum. I think she got them from an Etsy shop, and it was from somewhere in Europe. I'm not sure where. Sorry. The other sock blockers, these ones, the bunnies, these were from the Knitting Shed, which is based in the UK, I believe. Sorry, I quite often get questions about the sock blockers, so I thought I'll just mention that now. Right, so those are the FOs. And now it's onto whips. And I've got 4 new whips, I think, since I last podcasted. But I have finished quite a few things, so it makes sense that I've got new whips. The Albion sweater, which I'm knitting for Jimmy, and is known as the future husband sweater, is still in progress, and I've made a little bit of progress on it, but I don't feel like it's quite enough to warrant showing it again on the next episode. So I'll show it again after I've made quite a bit more progress, because I think I've only managed about an inch extra. But they're quite, I don't know. It's a sweater, so it's going to be slow going, and it's because it's not for me as well. It's going to be slow going. So yeah, still in progress, still working on it slowly, but it's not one of my main focuses. So which whip shall I show you first? I think I'm going to have to show you the one that's living in here first. So this is my lovely project bag from Emma of Eldon Woodcraft. I'll just undrawstring it so you can actually see the beautiful fabric with the birds. Oh, it's just gorgeous. And living in here is my wedding shawl. And let's see. It took me a while to find the right yarn for this, and I put up a post on Instagram. I think it was a story saying, like, asking for suggestions on where to find a lace weight yarn that didn't involve mohair, because I was looking for something that was going to be really soft and luxurious, but not super fluffy, because I wanted to do a shawl with a delicate lace, quite a detailed lace design. And I thought if I did it in a fluffy mohair silk, it might not show up the pattern as much. So I got a message back from the lovely Sophie of Pixie Yarn, and she created a load of mini skein colourways for me. Like she started experimenting with the kinds of colours that I was edging towards, and she was just so kind. I was just completely blown away. She was so lovely and offered to dye up a colour for me, because I couldn't find the exact colour I wanted on the base I wanted anywhere. And she dyed up this gorgeous, subtle, delicate, dusty pink. And she doesn't normally stock this base, I don't think, but she just had some lying around, I think, and she had a couple of bases. And I picked this, it's a silk, cashmere and merino, or is it? I think it's silk, and it's definitely got cashmere, and I think it's got silk as well. I think it's merino, cashmere and silk, possibly. Or maybe it's got alpaca. I can't remember now. I'm silly. And I don't know where I put the ball band. I think I've got it safe upstairs, because when it arrived in the post, she's put her ball band on, and she'd written as the colourway, wedding shawl, the wedding shawl colourway. So I don't know if that's going to be a repeatable colourway or not, but I was so excited. I couldn't believe that she'd written that on the ball band, so I'm definitely keeping that somewhere safe. And yeah, so this is the yarn I'm using, and I have started the shawl. I was toying around with the idea of designing my own shawl for the wedding. However, I just wanted it to be a fun project that wouldn't be stressful. And I thought if I just go for a pattern that exists already, then I'll find the whole process a lot more enjoyable, because I want this project to bring me a lot of joy as I'm working on it and thinking about our wedding, which is currently scheduled for November, early November. So I'm really hoping that a date that late in the year will still be okay, with the whole coronavirus thing going on. So I'm not going to be talking about that anymore, sorry. I'm trying not to mention that. But so I'm hoping that that will still be going ahead for that date. But if not, it's not the end of the world, and people are facing so many worse problems right now that it seems silly for me to even mention that that's a valid worry to have. So the pattern which I have chosen is the Land Skein, which is a shawl by, I think it's Mary Alice. I'll put a picture of it on the screen, and I'll put the full details of the designer just in the notes down below. And the first main section of the shawl is a stockinette part. So I'm still on the stockinette at the moment, but I'm absolutely in love with how this yarn is knitting up. I've just got a little crescent so far, but it's gorgeous. It's just beautiful, and it's so soft. And the stitch definition, I'm really pleased with how that's working up so far. So I should really hold it this way up, shouldn't I? Without hitting myself in the eye with these needles. So there we go. I'm really, really pleased with it. I haven't worked on it for a little bit. I wanted to get it started so that I can just sort of pick it up and work on it whenever I feel like. I was just so excited to get going, but I know it's not going to be one of my main priorities at the moment, because I've got quite a while until the wedding. And yeah, so I'm really, really pleased with this. It's just beautiful. And I absolutely love the colour as well. It was exactly what I was going for, so yes. And this little progress keeper, I think I got that as a present. Can't remember where it was from though, but it's really pretty. I really like it. So yeah, my wedding shawl. I'll just pop this back in here. Carefully. So I'll just, there we go. That's one whip. I've got 3 more to show you. And the second one, living in this gorgeous bag from Bird Street UK. It was gifted to me by Claire, who is the maker behind Bird Street UK and Mr. B's Yarn. It's just gorgeous. I just love this project bag for socks. It's just perfect. So, living in here is a new pair of vanilla socks, and I just needed a bright, fun pair of vanilla socks to cast on. Because as soon as I finish a pair of vanilla socks, I feel like there's something missing from my life. I just need to have a pair to rely on for if I just need something really simple to work on. So I picked out this skein, which is Stranded Dye Works, and it was one of her RuPaul's Drag Race inspired colourways. And this is the colourway Reading is Fundamental. I absolutely love RuPaul's Drag Race. Just look how bright and vibrant this is. It's amazing. I'm not normally a massive bright orange person, but there's something about this just drew me to it. So I'm still on the first leg, the first sock. However, look at this. How can you not be happy knitting on this sock? It's amazing. I love how it's working up. Absolutely love it. So it's sort of like a spiraling pattern. And it's just so wonderful. It just makes me happy every time I look at it. And I've stuck on here a Progress Keeper from, picked it up from Flock. And yes, Stitching Me Softly. She makes Progress Keepers and little kits for crochet necklaces and macrame necklaces. And yeah, I just thought this like massive glittery Progress Keeper that's quite loud needed to go on this really loud pair of socks. RuPaul's Drag Race socks. So there we go. I have been watching quite a bit of RuPaul recently. I think I'm now on season 10. So working my way gradually through all the seasons. I can't wait until the next UK RuPaul's Drag Race. I absolutely loved the first season of the UK one. It was amazing. Just amazing. So yeah, just plain pair of vanilla socks, but bringing me a lot of joy. So I'm just sort of picking those up, doing a couple of rows as and when I feel like it. And it's just good to have a pair of vanilla socks. I mean, not that anyone really needs travel knitting at the moment, but well, I still go to work, so but I am driving whilst I go to work, so I can't knit at that time. So, yeah. Pair of vanilla socks. Next whip. This next whip, living in my Mrs. Brown's bag. And I'm really all about the bright colours at the moment. I feel like all the bright colours are just quite cheery and just lifts your mood a bit. So yeah, bright colours on the bag and bright colours inside the bag too. So, might give you a clue. I have decided, or I've been planning for a little while, to make some little bonbon bunnies for a friend who I don't think watches this podcast. Don't think she does. So hopefully it'll be alright to show this. And I picked up a couple of DK skeins of yarn. One I picked up last year with this idea in mind, and then just never got around to it. And the other one I picked up I think last weekend. Oops, made a bit of a mess here. So, first one is this gorgeous skein of, I think it is Vicky Brown Designs. Here we go. There's her label. So this is Vicky Brown Designs, and it's the Wisteria colourway on DK, which is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. I love wisteria anyway, and I just love the purples with the greens. Oh, it's everything. So I needed an excuse to buy this. So I was like, right, I'm going to make a bonbon bunny with this. And I'll have quite a bit left over as well, so I might be able to make a hat. So that's the first colour that I'm going to use for a bunny. The second colour I picked up last weekend from Pixie Yarn. I'm becoming a bit of a Pixie Yarn fangirl at the moment. I just absolutely love every colourway she comes out with. And it's really hard to restrain myself. So, there we go. And this is Amp Up the Love, which was a charity colourway for, I don't know which charity it was. There was a big event the previous weekend where lots of different dyers and makers joined in to support various charities. And what was it called? It was organised by Gamer Crafting. Let's have a look. Because it's annoying me that I can't remember, and I know what I'm trying to say. Operation Social Justice, that was it. So it was for Operation Social Justice, which is organised by Gamer Crafting. And here we go. This was one of Pixie Yarn's colourways dyed up for this. She also did an amazing mini skein set, and I considered purchasing that as well, but I had to restrain myself because I can't just keep buying all the yarn with no plans for it. But this, I thought, if I get DK, I can do another bonbon bunny. So I have a friend who already has a daughter, and she's currently expecting another little girl. So I thought, if I make each of them a bonbon bunny out of these, They can have sort of a bonbon bunny each. And I should have enough left over to make each of them a hat as well. Hopefully for later on in the year. I will definitely have enough left over. Might not have enough left over for an adult size hat, but definitely for children's hats. So I started off with Bunny this colourway. And sorry, I forgot to show the label for Pixie Yarn. It's the Pixie Yarn label. And it's her 100% DK Merino base, which is unbelievably soft. It's so soft. And I've done 2 little legs so far. So they are just hanging out on these spare DPNs. But they will eventually be like this. 2 little feet. They are just so cute. I love the way the colourway is working up. It's just so bright and happy. I love it. I really, really love it. So yeah, 2 little feet. I don't know what I've done to that one, but it just looks a bit dodgy. I think I might have filled one of them slightly more than the other one as well with the stuffing, but it's okay. So I think I've got to make the arms next. I really enjoy knitting bonbon bunnies. I've done one previously, and they're just quite fun because you work up all the limbs first, and then you start the body and attach everything as you go, and they just work up really, really quick. And they're just quite fun to put together. So that is that. And I've got one more whip to show you. And that's living in my Socks for Dobby bag, which is from Mrs. QB. Always get questions about this bag. And so living in here is going to be a new sock design. But so far, I have only done the cuff. I seem to have made a bit of a switch to doing cuff down socks now. I think it depends on how I want the pattern to look. But yeah, I'm just enjoying cuff down at the moment. So the main colourway, which I'm using, is Big Sky Yarn Co. And this is actually leftover, believe it or not, from my Floozy 2 jumper, so this was like one of the contrast colours that I used. And I have enough left over to make a pair of socks, which is amazing. And so I'm going to use this for the majority of the sock. And here it is. It's just so pretty. I love this colour so much. And yeah, I believe the colourway is Band of Horses. Yes, that's right. And it's on their Sundance sock base, which is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. And it's just lovely. I love this base and colourway. And I'm going to use a little contrast colour, which is also left over from my Floozy 2. And this was actually the main colour I used for the Floozy 2. This is Moonstone Dye Works, who is Tommy of Squirrel Pie Productions. She does awesome vlogs and a podcast. So you should definitely go check hers out if you have not already seen it. I think she just put up a vlog today, so I'm going to have to go and watch that later once I've edited this. And yeah, that I'm going to use just for the toes of the sock, I think. So it's going to involve cables and eyelets. That's all I'm going to say for now. But I I just love this colour combination together. So I thought I've got enough left over for a pair of socks, so I might as well. I work in quite a weird, I don't know if I work in quite a weird way when it comes to designing. A lot of the time I just sort of get inspired by the colours that I see together and just decide, oh, these colours would make a really nice design. So yeah, that's a new design I've got going on. So yeah, I've got 4 new whips. Sorry. Oh, I'm not used to talking so much. Okay, so that was the last whip. I have got a few acquisitions. I don't think I've filmed since I went to Flock. No, I don't think I did. Flock was on the last day of February. So that was quite a few weeks ago now. And it was really, really lovely. The first Flock of the year. Hopefully there'll be another Flock this year. The next one is due to be in June, but who knows what's going to be happening then. So I'm glad we at least got to have a Flock. And yeah, I picked up a few bits whilst I was there, gifted to me by the lovely Claire, and I haven't decided what I'm going to do with all of them yet. So some I might use as prizes, because we are still running the slow down make along at the moment, but I haven't decided yet. Trying to think. So I need to start using my stash and making plans with them. Okay, so what was I going to say? Yeah, Flock was so lovely. It was just really, really nice to see everyone and get to catch up with all of the Yarnia friends that I've made there. And yeah, it was just so lovely. I was working on the shop. They also had Skein Heroine, who was the guest vendor there. Her yarns were gorgeous. It was really lovely to meet Alison as well, so that was really, really lovely. So yeah, I'll just show you the couple of bits that I picked up. Excuse me. So this one is actually the same colour that I used in my Fairy Wisp shawl, but it's just such a beautiful colour. It is the Duchess colourway. Most of these are on their Hiddleston 4-ply base, so it's just gorgeous. I love Mr. B's yarn. They're another dyer who I just love every single colourway they come out with. They can't do it wrong. Then we've got this one, which is Rock Pool. This is a gorgeous colour. Look at those speckles. Love it. So that's Rock Pool. And then we've got Picky Out the Stingers. I'm wondering, I think I had a bit of a Bristolian twang at the end there, but I think that's a Bristolian saying. And yeah, this one has just got gorgeous speckles. Really, really cool. I love this. So yeah. One last one. This one is not on Hiddleston 4-ply. This one is their Freeman lace base, which is 74% Suri alpaca, 26% silk, and it's the Peach Cloud colourway. And I have got a skein of fingering weight upstairs, which I thought coordinate really nicely with this. So I've not knit with alpaca silk lace weight before, but it is super fluffy and I love it. Just gorgeous. So I'll have to figure out something special to do with this one. Yeah, so those are my acquisitions. I have got a birthday, obviously. I don't know if I mentioned, I've got a birthday coming up. So I should have some acquisitions next time. I have treated myself as well, so yes. I love this one so much. It's just so soft. It's gorgeous. I'm trying to imagine what it's going to be like knit up, whether it would be similar to the mohair silk lace weight or whether it would be slightly different knit up. I feel like this is a bit softer. I think for people who find mohair slightly irritating on their skin, people who've got sensitive skin, I think some of them don't get on very well with the mohair. But I've heard that alpaca is a bit softer and less likely to irritate the skin. That's just what I've heard though, so I don't know. Yeah. It's just gorgeous. I need to figure out what to do with it. Okay, so I feel like I've been rambling a little bit this time. Yeah. I've been a little bit rambly, but hopefully you don't mind. Hopefully that's okay. And if you're still watching, thank you so much for watching my podcast. If you've enjoyed it, please do give it a thumbs up. It just helps get my podcast out there and shared with other people who enjoy knitting podcasts. It might give them something new to watch because we all need a little bit to keep us going at the moment, don't we? And please also subscribe if you enjoyed it, so that you can find out about future episodes. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you and your families and loved ones are well. Please stay safe. This is a really challenging time for all of us, but we just have to look on the positive side, whether that's just picking up your favourite skein and giving it a squish, or oh, I think that might be post. No, it can't be post, it's Sunday. There's no post on Sundays. I don't know what that was. Jonah was angry or something. Anyway, I need to round this up. Yeah, look after each other, check in with friends, and yeah, I will try and podcast again in the not too distant future. I know there are quite a few people who are doing social distancing vlogs, so those are great to watch if you need some entertainment as well whilst you are self-isolating. And yeah, look after yourselves, look after each other, and I'm sending out good vibes to you all. Don't forget my sale is running until the end of Tuesday for 50% off with the code Good Vibes. So yeah, I hope that helps you out. Oh, I did mean to say, if anyone is really struggling financially and cannot afford to purchase a pattern half price, I will gift you a free pattern. Just send me a private message on Ravelry or Instagram, and there's no judgment, no questions asked. I will send you a free pattern. because everyone needs something to cheer them up and keep them busy during this time. So sending so much love to you all. I hope you're well. I keep saying that, but I really do. And yeah, we just need to look after each other at the moment. So yeah, hopefully it won't be too long till I speak to you soon. Take care of yourselves, and yeah, speak to you again soon. Bye.